Alright, Deus 2 version 1.10. Now this video here should really interest some people, okay? Because you could cheat yourself out of making a good find in a set. You know, that old fall on this machine likes to read 30, 35. Some people may think, well, there ain't anything worthy that reads that. Well, that's probably true for the most part, okay? That's a 10-carat gill ring, and you see that big old piece of iron there? Now that rings away from it. Speed 3 in both of these programs. Silencer is at 1, I believe. It's 1 in both programs. I've got a 0 to 35 is notched. You know, the reason, what I'm trying to figure out here, you notice the iron size and maybe even the shape and its relationship to a non-ferrous target. Using the fast program, trying to use notch to get the ID out of the ashes, so to speak, out of that single digit range. Well, I'll show you a few things here. This is sensitive FT with a 00 through 35 notch. You see that right there? Speed 3 in both. I'll let you listen. You hear that? You see that meter? Nice, huh? You'd probably dig that in an old site. Or even in your yard, maybe. Okay? Fast program. Set up the same exact way. See, look at there, 0 to 35 notch. Speed 3. What do we hear? Very little. You hear that? Just a itty bitty little chirp. And I'm going to go back to sensitive FT and let you hear it. Hear that? Two-way good signal in the sensitive FT program on that gold ring. Now I'm sweeping over that iron right now in that program. Okay. Now I've got it notched. Remember, I've got iron range notched in both programs. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to take the notch out of both of these programs. Okay, so there's sensitive FT with no notch. I'm sweeping over the iron now. Maybe you see that in that coil. You hear that machine. Now, you hear it hitting that gold ring? See that ID in that window? Okay. Fast program, and we'll take the notch out of it. Okay, so I'm sweeping over the iron there and fast. You don't hear anything. Now I'm sweeping the gold ring. See that meter? A 7 and an 8. But now here's what's interesting, okay? And we see this with higher conductive coins a lot, but that's a lower conductive gold ring. Now that iron there is sizable. Now I had to move it away from that iron to get some kind of detection, okay? But notice the ID is with no notches 7 or 8. Okay, so I'm going in here and I'm going to notch the iron range, basically 0 to 10. Fast program. Notice what happens there. See that ID? Now it's trying to report it like 25. 26. Okay, so I was able to use the notch to get this machine to show a better ID than that single digit garbage, okay? But notice where the ID went. It didn't go as high as the sensitive FT. And a person could, not knowing this, well, you may decide to notch out like I did. You might notch up to 35. Thinking you don't want to dig any, real small stuff. This, generally it is more junk. pinhead kind of stuff, okay? Well, if you did that and you swept over that gold ring, you might not hear it, okay? Unlike the old sensitive FT, even with 0 notch. You see that? Now you got to get pretty flush on that cone, on that ring to get that good ID, you know. But that's a big old piece of iron there, okay? So for relic hunting, a person might not want to be running in fast programming iron. You're gonna have to dig those single-digit report signals that sound at least sound decent or good, okay? You have to. I guess you could check some of them in sensitive FT. I probably would be. Now, version 100, fast program is probably going to behave more like the sensitive FT on this machine. Okay, hope you enjoyed.